What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trade Decoded. It is March 11th, 2025, and today was yet another fantastic day. We had an epic day in the community. Most everybody was done trading well before the time I get off the mic at 12 o'clock. And for this particular video, I'm going to cut out all the riffraff, and I'm going to tell you guys to just buy the book, number one. And number two, I'm going to fly through these trades, and I'm just going to give you the reason. I'm not going to give you the explanation as to why higher lows are bad for puts and all these things. Just know that I'm trying to pinpoint accurate these videos for you so you don't have to sit here for more than 10 minutes to pick up why we did what we did. And it's just going to be a matter of repetition. Not only that, I'm going to start making some YouTube shorts depicting some of my rules and the things that I look for. So hopefully that'll help. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead. Oh, and by the way, congrats to our community. Here's what the ratio was today. Huge winning day. In fact, this whole week we're averaging just over an 80% win rate as a community. It's fantastic. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what we got going on. Well, as you guys know, I do the call put scenario in the mornings, and we got below the put line, and the only prerequisite to this trade was because we had made it through the put line before the market opened. I said we want to use that as a pullback area, and we were looking for this thing to at least make it down to the next line down, which would have been, actually we were hoping for way down here, but it wasn't about that. It was more about SPY. SPY getting down to their line. We knew where SPY's support was, but Q's was down quite a ways. But anyway, it was a quick trade. I told everybody right before I was getting in, guys, I'm getting in, and I got in, and a minute and a half later, not even, I was out with 17.8%. Awesome trade. We find support, we can't move lower, we start to move up. Well, we crossed the call line, made it straight through that line, and right up to the first resistance we were expecting to run into, which was, well, minimum the blue line, but we made it through that. Not only that, we closed above that, which means we should be looking for the next resistance up, which brought us all the way up to here, which we got to, and then we closed above that and made it to the next resistance up. Then we chopped around a little bit. Now, I have counter trend traders in the group today. We were looking, or I was trying to help them find something to take. That's counter trend tradey, not my favorite trade. But we were at a resistance point here, resistance on SPY, and it's a clear and concise plan. If we close above that resistance, that's your stop loss, okay? All we need is ADD to be printing a red candle, and we're expecting this thing to hold resistance and come straight down to support, which was right here on the Qs. Literally one minute trade. I don't know what that produced, but probably a 20% win or so. Nothing to hold on to because we were essentially still looking like we wanted to make our way to the upside. But we were putting in higher lows the whole time, so it's just typically rough and aggressive for puts. But we found it. It did work. And every one of these trades, by the way, was talked about before they ended up being trades. We break high, go up to, make a new high a day, and then we start to come down. Now, what was going on here? SPY and Qs, again, were at a resistance line, and ADD was once again starting to print some red candles. Where are we looking for this to go? Well, we're hoping for it to go from up top at resistance on both charts. We closed on the other side of the trend line. That becomes your new stop loss. We want to make it down to the same support. Now, we didn't quite get down there, but SPY was sitting on a support line. Qs kind of on support. They touched it several times. When we can't break lower, guys, you just got to know to get out. Then we move back up. Now, while we're coming up here, it was just after 10 o'clock. We had a nice move to the downside, and then it ran up, and then it overreacted, and it started to come back down. After this big seller's candle here, I said to everybody, guys, if ADD turns red, I'm a go. So I got in, not at the very top of this candle, but somewhere in here. And the reason I got in was because ADD hit a seller's candle and started to print red over there. I was simply aiming for support right here. It's the only support. If we were able to get through this, it's the only support, or the first support down was right here. As you can see, I took my profits there. Now, I left some money on the table. It kept going, but I didn't care because it was my second trade of the day. It was an aggressive trade, but all signs were go. It wasn't a surprise trade. I was ready to go, and that one paid me 36.7%. That was my second and final trade for the day. It was a banger of a day. Then we started to whipsaw a little bit, and my favorite trades of all, guys, just so you could see. Lower highs are bad for calls. Lower highs usually means we're going to break support, not hold it. So when we see it, we want to know, where are we likely to go from here? This happened to be a pullback to resistance. Somebody was in a trade asking me, what do you think? I said, well, if you're still holding on to puts, because this gentleman had gotten in up here, I said, you better stay below this blue line. As long as we do, and ADD keeps trending down like it was, I'm expecting it to at least get back down to the support that we came off of right here. Now, fortunately, ADD continued to trend down, and we did get through that line and more. So the target was here. We got through that, and then to which I said, if we get through that target, guys, I'm looking for SPY to get down to the pink line. Okay, because SPY was below its support levels here with space to go. As you can see, once SPY got through that level, we kept falling. And when it gets to the pink line, I remind everybody, take your profits, because we don't know what's going to happen at the pink line. In this particular case, it bounced off. We put in another lower high. So if you're looking for a reason to take puts, ADD is going down. Where are we expecting it to go? Well, from the lower high to the next support down, which in this case was the pink line. So entry could have been here if you stopped out or took out here or didn't get in at all. Lower highs means we're more likely to break support. Just keep that ingrained in your head. We get down to that support, another banger of a trade. Guys, these are 1, 2, and 3 minute trades. Making money with these big moves quickly. Then we move up, running into resistance. What is this? Well, this is what we like to call a higher low. It's a higher low in relation to this low, okay? Higher lows are bad for what? Puts. What are we expecting to happen? Resistance to fail. That's awesome, Jimmy. Where do we expect it to go if resistance fails? Well, we're expecting to go up to the next resistance, which was here in this case because it was old support turned into resistance, but at the same time, SPY was hitting a resistance level that was proven as well. So entry here because of the higher lows, aggressive entry, going through this resistance. Hopefully, I mean, we wanted to get all the way up here in the Qs, but old support, new resistance, but more importantly, SPY. And if you wanted to hold on because we were hoping to get all the way up here on the Qs, it's very simple. Have a stop loss. What's my stop losses? If we close above a line of resistance, we need to hold it as support. If we close back below that support, we stop out. If you got in down here, you stopped out just with a little less profit. Nothing wrong with that. Then we come back down. Right off support again, lower high, higher low. This is a wedge. You got to wait for the wedge to break. Which way does it break? Up. Off of higher lows, we're expecting to get through this resistance because of that, and we want to head up to the next resistance. All that happens. If you want to hang on a little bit longer because you want to make it to this one, that's fine. That's dandy. We got close to it, didn't get all the way to it, but we stopped out. I told everybody if we get back below this line of support, you got to, if we close back below it, if you didn't get out of the trade at this point, right? You got to get back, you got to get out if we close below it. Every new line we close above has to become your new stop loss, in my opinion. That's like having your own trailing stop, okay? We chop around a little bit, pull back, a little more chop. There wasn't much to see here. And then once again, guys, I'm going to shut off a bunch of these lines just to show you, because this is going to become one of my short videos. I want to break it down so that you can only see these teal lines for a second, okay? I'm going to get rid of everything else so that this is nice and clear and you can see what the hell's going on. You see this area right here? These teal lines, that's a lower highs, putting a lot of pressure on support. If ADD is trending down, which it was, I'm expecting lower highs to do what? Break support. Where's the next support down? Well, in this case, it was this line. Great. Is that enough room to make some money? It sure is. So that's the risk and that's the take. That's the trade I'm going to take. Now, lower highs, more and more pressure on support. We break the support, we move down to the next support. If you held on to it because ADD was dropping pretty good, that's great. Momentum's on your side. Where's your next support down? Well, it's right here. Okay, we get there. So it's always considered to be a potential exit. Now, if we close back above that line, this should have been your stop loss. Now, I know you're looking at this saying, but Jimmy, if we just move up a little bit more, you don't get the luxury of seeing those candles until they're after they're printed, okay? So in this move, we were in this trade 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes at most. Guys, that's a 35 to 40% win. Big, quick moves. That's what we're looking for, but anticipated. You could see these set up from a mile away. Try them one time, okay? Again, lower highs. in relation to here. We're expecting support to fail. So we want to know where the next support down is from right here. Well, all we got to do is look left. It's all the way down here. We were looking for 470, okay? Guys, we get lower high, breaking support. We're going all the way down to 470. Right here. We were a couple of cents off of it. Why do we choose to get out there? I think because SPY was hitting a support level as well. But first one, SPY was hitting pink line. Don't like to mess with the pink line. We got below the pink line and then SPY hit its next support. Either way, stop point was here. So if you got in up here, your stop out was here. We were hoping to get down to the pink line on Qs. We couldn't get there. But so sad. You got to take, what, a $2 move in just a few minutes? That pays very well. But that was the last trade we talked about because, well, it was after 12 o'clock and I'm done with the charts at that point. Guys, I'm trying to make these videos a little bit quicker. This one's just over 11 minutes. For that, I apologize. But I would like you to check out my book because it's super, super helpful. It's right here. This is what it looks like. It's called The Art of Naked Trading. Very, very informative. Also, if you'd like what you get in these videos, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to join our Discord community, well, we'd love to have you. There is a link down below. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you all had a fantastic day in the markets today. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See you.